How you doing, guys? I'm Trent Sanderson here on the infamous Living Realm Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Divine powers are always working for us because we're just trying to do right. That's why higher realms of higher power, the source, the creation all around us, God Himself actually works for you when you are trying to do the right thing. When your life choices only strive to do the right thing, then you have divine powers working for you. So with that being said, guys, I want to speak on something that's very, very important for a lot of you couples out there in relationships and marriages and whatnot, whatever you call your significant other. I want to talk about communication. Now, just recently, I've been talking to a friend of mine about communication, who's been helping me learn what communication is. And so I'm taking some of this knowledge and I'm telling you what we talked about. And not only that, just from experience and, hearing what other people go through and, just watching a lot of movies on TV, just seeing the fine balance between male and female and, what's expected versus what's not expected. So communication skills in a relationship are very important, guys. This is important for both parties, the male and the female. And like I said, it's just not you if you have that issue. It was also me at one point. I didn't realize how important it was till I started doing it, for myself, and started getting upset with people around me who didn't do it to the capacity and the degree that I began to do it once I realized that it was so very important to me. You understand what I'm saying? So you will get to a point where you realize how important communication is in your relationship, and the more you guys hide stuff from each other, the more angry you're going to be with each other, the more arguments are going to arise, the more you guys act out of your emotions and not communicate with each other, the more you guys are going to have arguments, the more anger is going to rise, the more there's going to be confusion, there's going to be distortion, there's going to be misunderstandings, because and I'm specifically talking to women on this one. I know women are very, very hardwired to be emotional beings and whatnot, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. But the master of her emotions, the woman who masters her emotions, becomes queen, And I say that to say this. Yes, you women have a very strong trait, which is having a strong sensitive side of feeling and emotion, but you must also master that part of you. You must master that part of you. Just like a man who is very, very masculine, which most men are. I said most men because not all men are masculine. Most men are. They have to come to a point in their relationships with females that they have to harness their masculinity and become a little bit more feminine. And that's just the reality of being a man in a relationship with a feminine woman, So both parties have work to do. We all have work to do. And it's very important that we both realize that the only way we're going to survive a relationship, the only way you're going to survive a marriage, the only way you're going to survive that little thing y'all got going on with each other, where y'all just play with each other's heads or whatever, is just y'all communicate. Best friends communicate. Best friends communicate. Like, you can't have a significant other, like a girlfriend or whatever, and you want her to be your best friend, or you want him to be your best friend, but y'all lack the amount of time y'all communicate with each other. Y'all can't just communicate with each other on Wednesday and expect to understand each other by Friday. Y'all can't connect with each other every other once in a while, but expect each other to know each other's thought patterns and how each other think. The key to a relationship is communication, just as well as understanding that person. But the way to understand the person that wants to be understood and the person that you want to understand is by communicating with them regularly. Let them know your innermost, deepest thoughts. Let them know how you feel. Men, stop being so strong-minded and so hardcore to the point that you can't let this woman know how you feel about certain situations. Let her know your deepest thoughts. Let her know exactly how you feel about the relationship that you're in. Let this woman know what you don't like about her, but say it in a good way. Don't curse her out. Don't verbally abuse her. Just tell her exactly what it is that you have a concern with. Now, women, on the other hand, you got to be strong. If you want to take on this masculine side of a man who wants to express himself the way he needs to, because that's much needed from him, when it comes down to expressing himself in order for your relationship to go 100% properly, excuse me, 100% right, that's what's needed of you. You need to be a strong woman. You have to be a strong woman to take on the things that a man tells you, because most of the time it might be blunt. Most of the time it might be without a filter. Most of the time it might be curse words or something. Who knows how a man thinks, because every man is different. But if you knowingly know that he's trying to express himself to you, you wouldn't get mad. You shouldn't get mad. You shouldn't fall back into the emotional state. When you fall back into the emotional state of self-pity and playing the victim role because you feel like he's bashing you verbally, because you're looking at the surface of the conversation or the expression. You're looking at the surface rather than looking at the bottom of the iceberg where the real problem exists, then you haven't mastered your emotions as a woman in order to take on the needs of this man expressing himself. So both parties have some work to do, guys, but communication is very, very important in a relationship. And if the two people don't come to an understanding of accepting each other's ways of communication, it's going to be problems. If one person decides to just fall off the radar and feel like they shouldn't have to communicate with the next person, the relationship is not going to work. If the man decides that he don't want to express himself and show his feminine side and be just a little bit soft from being so hardcore all day, the relationship is going to fail. So both parties have some work to do. Thank you for watching, guys. It's Trent Anderson. You're on the infamous Living Room Network.